You guys look pretty good as a unit offensively. What was different after maybe the first quarter? What were you guys doing differently schematically that allowed you guys to be more successful?
You know, it really wasn't any difference. It was not making mistakes. There was 2 sacks in that time. One was on the center on the point linebacker, and the other one was on a tackle on a game. And it's stuff that we know how to do. And once we got over that, we started executing and playing more like I think we can.
What would you maybe credit those mistakes to, the ones early on especially?
Hopefully being nervous, but, you know, yeah, I think in trying to really like be perfect in technique probably and not getting it executed because of that. And then I think, and unfortunately we got behind, and I think our guys decided let's just go play, and we protected better after that.
Through those last 3 quarters, is that maybe as good as you've seen the offensive line play in your time here?
You know,
as far as
I
pass
think
protection,
the coach said as far as pass protection, you know, it was pretty clean against a good team, and they gave us a lot of problems last year and got a bunch of sacks and got a bunch of flushes. And most of the time when Matt got flushed here, it was because of the pickups and the way they were, and then he usually had some time, you know, to move up on the forward level. So, you know, we did a good job. What we got to do now, and it was hard to run the ball. You can't call a bunch of runs when you're way behind. But we got to improve and get better in the run game now.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys really feel like you can move the ball running it? I know on Thursday you guys had to pass a lot, and maybe that was more out of desperation. But does it really feel like you guys can move the ball upfield by having that balance?
We think we have the guys that can do it, both running the ball and blocking for the runner. I do think the game necessitated that we had to get going a little bit, unfortunately, of our own doing with turnovers and mistakes in the first 11 plays. But, yeah, I'm confident that we have the guys that can get the run game going.
What do you guys need to do offensively, getting the other receivers involved, guys other than Desmond? And maybe is it catering to their strengths and changing the playbook so you can get the other guys involved and, you know, teams aren't keying in on Epps as much?
Absolutely. There's stuff in the playbook for everybody, you know. When a guy makes plays, he gets the go-to or get it to calls. And we have the guys that can do it, and I'm starting to see more of that each day. And that it's built into the offense to get them the ball, and I'm confident that we'll be able to do that. So we become more balanced both on who we throw to and the fact that we can run the ball well also.
Deion Watson came on late in the game against Ohio. Is there any more opportunities for him against USC? Is he going to play the one a little more?
He's a good player, and whenever we compete, he always seems like he ends up getting a bunch of balls his way because he seems to be productive. And, yeah, we'll have to get him the ball. He always kind of shows up. And I noticed that when I looked at the catch chart after the game. And so he made plays, and he earns more looks, and that's how you get more balls thrown to you.
Is there expectations for this game this week against SC?
We need to keep getting better every day. We didn't practice today like I expected us to. I expect us to be a lot better tomorrow. And we got to prepare for an opponent. It's a real good opponent, and we have to keep us in mind and our long-term goals and just keep getting better every day and go down and compete and play hard and represent ourselves and our program the way I think it should be represented.
This is a USC team that's always pretty deep across the board. What especially, defensively do they do well this year? And I think their front seven kind of seems to be a strength of theirs.
Yeah, they're strong. You know, the first thing you saw when you watched them play Arkansas State is they rolled guys constantly, and they don't have a huge drop-off when they do that. They have some standouts that jump out at you. 99, the nose guard, is really a good football player. He can hold the point, but he also can be elusive and go get sacks and hurries. And you have to be really cognizant of when he's in there. 21, Sua Cravens is an amazing football player. We've watched a ton of video on them, and he just jumps off the video, you know, like a future pro would. And you better know where he is all the time. He's the field alley defender, and he's a blitzer. He covers the pass. He plays the run. He's a tremendous player. So, and they've got some depth, obviously. I guess they say they don't, but looking at the Arkansas State game, they appear that they do because they freely rotated 2 deep in every position and 3 in a couple others.
Do you think you guys will need to do a lot more rotating on the line, just knowing how big and strong those guys are on their D-line?
You know, no, we're going to keep playing the guys we've been playing. I don't see anything change. I didn't see anything today that would make me change. we'll keep rotating those quick tackles. And Matlock, Sandberg, and Rose and Woods really aren't guys that you take out very much right now.
What's the most important message you can relay on to your guys before you go into a hostile environment like USC?
Enjoy it, first of all. That's what you play football for. And the greater the challenge, the sweeter the rewards. So go fight on each play and find yourself some plays, find yourself some confidence, and get better, compete, and come out of that game with stuff that moves us ahead forward to our goals for the season.
Have you ever coached at the Coliseum?
No, I haven't. I've been in a bunch of big stadiums. I haven't been in that one, and I'm kind of anxious to get down there. And I'm hoping John Robinson's around because he still raises money, works for their foundation, and he hired me at UNLV back in '04. And I think the world of the man, so I'm looking forward to crossing paths with him.
He's at SC now?
He is, yeah. Okay. He works for the foundation. I think they probably take good care of him because he took pretty good care of USC.
All right,
Great.
thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep. All right, fellas.